Hey Dan, it's Sunday evening, September 12th, also the last day that Lakeview Drive-In is open, and Duncan's birthday, so it's a propitious day all the way around. Probably one of the last totally gorgeous weekends we're going to have in Minnesota. I know it's only September, but man, the weather's harsh here. And so I thought I'd take the opportunity of coming out and making this video in the backyard where it's just, I mean, so pretty out here. As Carew will probably tell you, the mosquitoes have been really bad this year, so I'm hoping that I don't get eaten up on out here, but we'll see. So this is the first full week that Duncan has been away from school. Has been away to school. Last week was, or the week before last was Tuesday through Friday was orientation. We picked him up on Friday. That's when Carew was still here. We went to the Renaissance Festival the next day, and but then anyway, we took Duncan back up to school on Monday night, or Beth took him up to school on Monday night, and he's been up there since. So he said during the first week of orientation they had as part of orientation, a 3-hour drum circle, and that they also went to the Walker Art Museum, which is like the Art Institute of Chicago, except in Minneapolis. So I think he really likes it so far. The video I had made of his roommate, he doesn't have a roommate anymore. Apparently there were not enough people to fill the quad, and so everybody got their own room, which, is good or bad. Certainly it's the first time Duncan's ever had his own room, so I think he's enjoying that. He's enjoying the fact that when he leaves his things in a place, they're still in that same place an hour later, or a day later, or 4 days later. So he's had his first week of classes. His math teacher happens to be the sister of a woman. Sister of a woman named Peg Santarud, who actually has a daughter named Bryn, who went to who's actually in Duncan's grade, and went to the Montessori school with him, and then to the high school with him as well. So anyway, they mosquitoes are coming in. So it's nice to have that little bit of connection. There's also a great Baha'i family who lives about 2 minutes away. She's from maybe Somalia. Where is she from? One of the African countries. And he's from Italy. And she's a doctor, and I don't know what Nabil does, but really nice people. And Amy and Dave are actually only about a 15-minute drive away, but fairly close. But I think he's enjoying it. I was wondering how he was going to fare this weekend, especially this is the first weekend he stayed at school. And of the, 100 or so in the dorms, only about 15 or 20 stayed over this weekend. And that sounds pretty common. And honestly, Dan, I think it's because... Colleen, do you want to come and just keep mosquitoes away from my legs while I'm talking to Dan?
No.
Well, if you see them landing on me, spot them. I think most of the parents are really helicopter parents, and want their kids home every single weekend. And Beth and I made a decision that we weren't going to do that. That we wanted him to be able to go away and do his thing. And it's hard because we wanted to be open to him coming back if he needed it, if he wanted it, but he hasn't expressed that so far. And I don't know. We tend to. I think my dad before me, when he went away to Georgia Tech, he never went back. He probably went back for summer vacation, maybe not. Of course, I wouldn't know. He's not talked about it much. But when I went to Central, I remember coming home fairly frequently that first year. But that's because I was taking Accutane, which is what Carew was taking, and I had to go to the dang doctor every month. But then, of course, my folks moved, and I never really went and visited them much. So, and I was okay with that. So I think he's going to be fine. Obviously, he's a bit younger than I was in college, and my dad was when he was in college. But, you know, I think we're trying to keep some sense of attachment while at the same time maintaining a detachment, if you know what I mean. So I've made it a goal of mine to write him a letter every week. So I wrote him a letter last week. An actual letter that you put a stamp on and mail. And we'll see, we'll see how long I can keep that up. But it's a way, what I think is going to be interesting about it is it's a way for me to communicate with him in a fashion I've never done before. Because you tend to put things in letters that you don't put in emails because of the nature of letters. And also things that you just don't ever really get around to saying when you're talking in person. It's also a chance for me to talk to him without worrying about whether he's listening to me or not. He may not be, but I won't know. Yeah, he, and like I said, today's his birthday, so Beth ordered a cake for him from a bakery up there and had it delivered yesterday. So, I guess it's those little things that we can do that will keep us in touch with him. And it's funny because I've decided I don't really want to text him, I don't want to email him. Talking on the phone I can do, but I think letters will be a good way to do it too. Well, as I said, it's the last day. Really, I'd almost consider it the last day of summer here. And we're almost at the gloaming, my favorite time of day, especially on these still warm summer days. So we all went to Lakeview Drive-In, so I'll cut in some video here about, showing that. Last day of Lakeview, really crowded, just lots of people I knew. It was good to see Tim, and say goodbye to him for the winter, essentially. I may see him, because he's still in town. You see the dog running back and forth. She's over there anyway. Of course you can't see the dog, because I'm on Lakeview video. Never mind. Anyway, school has started. We're a week into that. I did swim 3 times this week. In fact, yesterday I swam. I did about 100 sit-ups, and then I went and rode up Garvin Heights Hill because we had card club at Bob and Amy's. So, and riding up that hill was awesome. I mean, I made it. It was hard. I was definitely a mouth breather the whole way, trying to get as much oxygen as I could. So, and I guess also what's marking summer here, or so the end of summer, is the start of the NFL season. And I tell you, man, I'm watching. People say watching soccer is boring. Well, it's a matter of developing the habit. And once you've developed the habit, I think you don't mind watching it. But I tell you, I just hardly had the stomach to sit there and watch a football match today or a football game, because just the sheer amount of downtime between plays was stultifying. That's what it was, stultifying. And the commentary was unintelligent at best. So I don't know. I guess I'll watch some and every now and again, but I did watch the 8 seconds left. So I guess on that note, I remain yours in Minnesota, still dead.